It's the first of its kind in Lafia, the capital of Nasarawa State. The Lafia City Mall is bequeathed with a state-of-the-art facility that would ease off stress and make life more meaningful for the people of Lafia. Governor Abdullahi Sule is here to inaugurate the mall and wants more investors to invest in the state. This, the governor says, is in line with his administration's drive to industrialize the state.
We thank God Almighty for continuously showing us this kind of opportunities, this type of progress, and indeed, anybody coming into Lafia today, right at the gate of the entrance of Lafia, will know that Lafia is changing and Nasarawa State is changing. I want to thank you, the CEO of WorldMart Group, for your continuous belief and trust in Nasarawa State. I want to thank you also for giving us the opportunity to prove to the world that indeed Nasarawa State is safe for investment and all the things we are putting in place are for the benefit of the people, and any investor that is interested in coming to Nasarawa State, there is no better time to come than now. So I thank you so much for doing it.
And people will ask, why Lafia City Mall? It is Lafia City Mall because it is our belief and conviction that Lafia is a city. And we also know that one of the features or characteristics of a modern day city is a mall like this.
The traditional institution is also happy with the development. The mall has opened more employment opportunities for indigenes of the state.
The first thing we did to ourselves in this state, by the grace of Allah, we came together and elected Abdullahi Sule as our governor. The reason is simple. You want to change the state of affairs, you have to get the right person in the right place at the right time. Someone that will occupy the driver's seat must be someone that is capable, someone that can be able to effect the change that you are looking for. All the time since the creation of the state, a lot must have happened. But as the journey continues, one thinking that had always been with us, especially the right thinking people, is what can we do to change our state of affairs? And the only way that that is possible, looking at today, looking at where the world is heading to, is if we can be able to change our direction, removing our attention much on what the public sector can provide, to paying special attention to the private sector, where the world is heading towards.
Governor Abdullahi Sule has stressed the need for concerted efforts to develop a transformative national program of action that would make the country and Africa stand at par with developed nations of the world. The governor made a remark at a town hall meeting for the validation exercise of the country's self-assessment report held in Lafia. The exercise is the nation's second peer review in 13 years.
The belief of this administration that this review process, which is aimed at entrenching good governance, transparency, accountability, integrity, respect for human rights, and the promotion of the rule of law, will aid Nigeria in sustaining the development stride it has made. This voluntary but unique process will foster peace, regional and continental integration as it is developed and conducted by African countries, thus allowing participating countries to share best practices that will lead to better policies and overall growth and development of the continent. To demonstrate the quality of the country's self-assessment report, this administration ensured that it gave its full support and that non-governmental actors are carried along in the process.
The exercise is the brainchild of African Union Development Agency, a new partnership for Africa's development, AUDA and NEPAD. Its objectives is to foster adoption of policies, standards, and practices that could lead to political stability, high economic growth, sustainable development, accelerated regional and continental economic integration.
We hope that with the type of people and minds that we have brought here today, we'll be able to have robust conversations and discussions around this self-assessment report of Nigeria. We'll be able to discuss issues that would bring about better implementation of our national program of action, which we hope to have after this is accepted by His Excellency the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari.
The governor lauded President Muhammadu Buhari for his efforts at ensuring the conduct of the exercise amid challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the establishment of Agricultural Equipment and Machinery Development Institute, AMEDI, in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. The institute would be under the supervision of the National Agency for Sciences and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule made this known at the inauguration of the Lafia City Mall in the state. The governor, who is elated by the development, thanks President Muhammadu Buhari for the gesture.
Very happy. In fact, I woke up this morning extremely happy because last night I received the approval from Mr. President for the setting up of the Agricultural Machinery and Equipment Development Institute right here in Lafia. Let me sincerely use this opportunity before I come myself to extend my greatest appreciation to Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, DCFR. Let me also use the opportunity to thank, we started it like a joke just a few weeks ago with Professor Sani Haruna of NASENI. When we realized there are going to be about 3 or 4 institutes that will be established, he asked me to write and see if Mr. President will approve. And just yesterday, Mr. President approved, and we are going to establish that institute right here in Lafia as we are talking. By the establishment of that institute, did I say Lafia? I told Goody. I'm sorry. It's going to be established right here in Lafia, where I am the Baraya of Lafia, not even Goody.
It's not business as usual in the conduct of local government elections in Nasarawa State. The State Independent Electoral Commission had hitherto operated without a proper regulation to guide its activities. This time around, it is ready to right the wrongs of the past elections. This it is doing through the introduction of the NASIEC Regulation 2021. The aim is to spell out the responsibilities of everyone involved in the electioneering process.
In the Commission's effort to put in place procedures, rules and structures that will enable it adequately, efficiently and seamlessly discharge its statutory mandate, and specifically to put in place internal control mechanisms for optimal output and productivity, it has been able to document this set of rules tagged NASIEC Regulations 2021, which is about to be presented and unveiled today. In documenting the rules of procedure, the Commission took into cognizance the sacred responsibility of an election management body and the need to have a set of rules that will galvanize members and staff of the Commission to work in unison, collectively targeting set goals towards making the Commission conduct its affairs in tune with modern election techniques that will guarantee free, fair, transparent and credible elections, thus making the Commission a center of excellence. As the Commission counts down to the 6 October 2021 local government councils election in the state, we remain poised to deliver on our mandate.
The Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule is happy on transparency in the elections and assures of a level playing ground for all parties. He is more concerned about having the right people in office and ready to eschew selfish interests.
Considering the imperative of conducting a seamless local government council election, government decided to oblige the logistics requirement put forward by the Commission. I believe that the presentation of the NASIEC Regulations 2021 today is in furtherance of the Commission's determination to ensure conduct of a credible election in line with the global best practice. This ground norm document will regulate the conduct of the election, operations and other internal mechanisms necessary for the entrenchment of the independence of the Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission. I'm also aware that NASIEC Regulation 2021 contains an organized structure of the Commission which will pave the way for efficient and effective service delivery. I must commend NASIEC for being one of the few, but as I'm being told, the first in Nigeria to come up with this internal regulatory document. I therefore charge the Commission to live above board by abiding strictly to its regulations in order to exercise its independence and earn the confidence of every one of us. As an electoral body, the Commission must exercise neutrality and objectivity in the conduct of statutory mandate. The Commission must not align itself with any political party, candidate, or interest, no matter the odds in the forthcoming election. I hope IPAC is listening to me on that one. It should be noted that in approving these unique regulations, government took into cognizance the onerous responsibility of electoral umpire and ensured that it did not conflict with the powers conferred on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, by the 1999 Constitution as amended and the provisions of the electoral law. Before concluding this address, let me take the opportunity of this event to appeal to political parties, candidates, and their sponsors to be law-abiding during the electioneering campaigns and throughout the election period, and the emergence of winners of the election, as well as those who may not win. As we all know, politics is not a do-or-die affair, and in every contest, there must be winners. In essence, we must imbibe the culture of managing the joy of victory and the agony of defeat.
Governor Sule proceeds to unveil the 2021 regulations alongside the NASIEC chairman and other top dignitaries. Relevant stakeholders assure the Commission of their unflinching support towards the success of the polls.
To know that part of the INEC's mandate is to provide technical support to the 36 state electoral bodies in the country. This we will do, taking into account the huge challenges that come with conducting elections. Ladies and gentlemen, note that election has rules which are applied to the various competing groups will have fair representation. I hope we will continue to observe these rules to make the electoral process more peaceful so as to make your votes count.
That as lawmakers, products of election will always stand by those who are ready to stand within the orbits of the law. And that is to say, we are very appreciative. We know such a feat wouldn't have happened without the support of the governor of the state. The environment given to you to operate smoothly, it is what is exactly even happening in an arm of government like ours, the legislature, which gives us opportunity, gives us the space to operate without rancor. Your Excellency, thank you very much for such understanding. Thank you very much for such cooperation. Together, we are going to move this state forward.
So thereabout, the then chairman of NASIEC informed us at one of our meetings in Abuja that Nasarawa State was in the process of producing some guidelines of rules for the electoral body. We were excited. We wanted to see how it would come about. Again, sometime around this year or thereabout, when the present chairman, our brother Wandai, told us again at the meeting that this thing had been ready and assented to by the governor, we were further excited to see the outcome of what it would be. Today, therefore, as we have seen and heard from the reviewer, it is a novel idea. It is one of its kind in the whole of the Federation. We'll take the documents along with us and recommend it to all our colleagues to ensure that we do that for all the 36 election management bodies of state in Nigeria. The document, of course, as you could have heard from our colleague in EKES just now, virtually, is part of the institutional building program for strong electoral processes at the local government level. They say politics is local. And starting from there, if we get it right, we'll get it very, very correct at the national level.
Permit me to commend His Excellency for setting the ball rolling for the local government elections to hold in Nasarawa State October this year. The release of the timetable by the Independent Electoral Commission, NASIEC, is a clear demonstration of government commitment to an enduring democracy. I wish to commend the Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission, NASIEC, for producing this Nasarawa State Independent Regulation 2021 to give the activities to the Commission. We in IPAC, we key into provision of the regulation. IPAC will support government to support the governor, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, the termination of grassroots. We are ready to key into mobilization and sensitization initiative of all we can to the Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission.
Alright, welcome to our interview segment. Today we have with us the chairman of the Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission, Honorable Ayuba Wande. Honorable, we are glad to have you on our program today.
I'm glad to be here.
Alright, let's start by congratulating you on your appointment as the chairman of the commission, and then also the ability of the commission to set the ball rolling for another local government post in just less than 3 months after the chairman exited office. We've seen elections hold in Nasarawa State, especially the local government election, and we've seen the ups and downs. What is different from this election that will be held in October 6th compared to the previous ones we've had?
The difference is that in planning this election, we have involved all political parties, because we do not want to have a repeat of what happened during the last elections, that some parties decided to stay away from the election, boycotted the elections, because they were not confident in the process, procedure and process for the election. But this time around, like I promised when I was sworn in, I said, I'm going to involve all political parties in planning for the election so that they can see through the process. And that is exactly what we have been doing. And in fact, we even agreed on a date and planned this election with the umbrella body of all political parties. Even today, before you came, we had a meeting, and I think this is our third meeting since we kickstarted the process for this election with IPAC. And I think we're on a sound footing. They are confident in the system. They can see that we are transparent, and we are doing our best to create a level playing field for everybody.
Alright, can you give us highlights of the NASIEC regulations that were just launched within the week?
Basically, the NASIEC regulations that was launched within the week is an internal control instrument. We are empowered by Section 204 of the 1999 Constitution as amended to have our own rules, because we are an independent body. When we came in, we realized that there's no rule guiding how this commission is supposed to be run. Number of departments we are supposed to have, how our meetings are supposed to be held, how the commission is supposed to take decisions, how we can pass information from top to bottom and from bottom up, and how we can seamlessly run this commission with everybody working for a set goal and then trying to achieve the same thing at the same time to save a rancorous situation. When we came, the duties of departments were not clearly spelled out, and we had some departments that did not even have anything to do with an election management body. So that is why we decided to kickstart the system by putting in place regulations that will make us run this organization to get the optimal best from our members and our staff.
You spoke about getting the IPAC, having meetings with the IPAC. What more are you doing to restore confidence in those parties who believe that it's always the ruling party that takes it all during local government elections like this?
I have said severally in several forums that we are an election management body. We do not conduct selection. What we do is election. And in election, for us sitting here at the head office, we have to go by the rules. Our job, I know a lot of people see it as not a very difficult one, but me, I see it as a very easy one, because all we have to do is to create a convergence of all the laws guiding our operations. We have the Nasarawa State, the Nasarawa State Local Government Election Law. We have the Nasarawa State Local Government Law. We have the NASIEC Establishment Law. We have the Constitution. It is just for us to create a convergence of all these laws, and then just try to implement and execute them as they are supposed to be. And that is exactly what we intend to do, to build confidence in the system. But our greatest challenge is that most parties don't go through these laws. Most parties don't go through these laws. Most individuals involved in the local government election project don't go through our laws, so that they can engage us in doing anything you see we put in the guideline, anything you see this commission do is according to the law. And I think, what other confidence do we have to build in anybody when we follow the law?
All right, in the course of the week, we saw some opposition parties calling for a reduction in the cost of the nomination forms. Is the commission looking at this or trying to consider some of these calls?
When they were making all those calls, we had not issued our guidelines. We just issued our guidelines today. And the cost of nomination forms are in our guidelines. And the fact remains that we have a power to fix those nomination fees, at least for processing and other things. I want you to take a survey across the country. You will see that the price fixed by NASIEC is the lowest in the country. We don't have any states, even neighboring states are conducting election, and you find out how much they fix for their nomination forms. We think what we have fixed is good, and we have not changed it because we are looking at the present economic situation in the country. We still maintain the price of our nomination form from the 2018 elections. I think that is very modest, and it is in a bid to encourage parties to participate.
All right. Now the electorates are looking up to you. They are expecting a transparent election and a rancor-free election. Are there reassuring words you could give to these people as they expect the October 6th election?
Yes, that is exactly what we intend to do. We intend to take our voting materials to every polling unit across the state. We intend to collate results at all levels specified by law for us to collate results, and at the end of the day, we assure everybody that we are going to declare results as they come from the field.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Ayuba Wande, Chairman of the Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission. I must confess that you have done justice to some of our questions today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.